Thank you, Oleg Richardson.
Oleg.
Kind of Kievish version of Alex Richardson.
All right, I guess am I taking over here, James?
Yeah, you go,
Right.
Dan.
Yeah, this is an interesting
for me.
series. I think, from one perspective, MVP, they're going to be warm from that last game they just played against North, just fresh off of that. And INTZ had a bit of a break, obviously, after their bounce against Dream Eaters. And so I feel like that favors MVP a little bit. However, this is going to be pretty mad. I think if we understand Brazilian Counter-Strike, especially from INTZ, in a sense, madness is to be expected. But that might work out for the likes of MVP, who are not as conditioned to the expected plays that we have in the European, North American meta. So this is going to be a really interesting one.
That's pretty close to the screen right there.
Yeah,
that's the
that's
the mini IMAX experience.
Xantara's style.
Oh boy, Vertigo to start off the proceedings. Well, will it be variants? I mean, Vertigo invites variants by default. I think people do agree. I wonder how long it will last in the map pool for. It's not a fan favorite. And, oh, I see a Face It Major little keycap spinner on a keyboard. Always good to see. But anyway, Vertigo, MVP's pick. They start on the T side. They've got 2 smokes and a Molotov. Don't see Vertigo often at the moment. Cello by the sandbags, and he has no support for this position. No support whatsoever. So how many frags is he going to be good for? Is he going to be checked? Look at the rotation already from the sound cues. No one's checked this jet. It doesn't look like anyone's going to check. Does he pull the trigger immediately? Oh, that's a beautiful first shot. Can he find a second? He can't.
Ooh. That's a snap and a half from HSK, James. I thought that was a guaranteed second kill for Cello. And there you go, Kianji trying to get himself up on top of the boxes, but he will be dropped down pretty hard. So he's got to be careful here, but he's managing to stay alive and play the angles. He's got teammates for support. Sign on the low ground, HSK behind the sandbags. Oh, Zeta is going to be doing the damage, though, leaving things to Yell. In the capable hands of Yell, but he hasn't got too much time here. He does have the kit, but Sign is waiting patiently from below all along, and finally he'll come into play at the end, and they'll secure things, sealing the deal.
Vertigo.
That's so bright, that keyboard. Oh
my
god, it's like distorting space and time with this, how bright it is on the camera. It's just, oh my god.
Okay. First round in the bag for MVP. Let's see what their anti-force buy looks like. They'll have an investment of players not overextending towards this side, but that's an AK losing a duel to a CZ immediately, trying to abuse the numbers game. There's a flank. INTZ trying to capitalize on Anarchy, and they've collected themselves an AK-47. There's a flash to try and take position later on. You can see Sign spotting in that elevator position. You'll hear the rotation as well of these CTs, so MVP can be expectant and quietly move into better positions. Crouch pick from Destiny won't go too far, and Cello will be able to rescue that AK-47, so not too bad for MVP. They're excited, they're hyped, they're loud at the beginning of this series.
If they win this game, James, we get to have a Korean team at the Major. That's pretty sick. INTZ adding to the Brazilian ranks. It's been cool to see the addition of more and more Brazilian representation over the years. But MVP, they are in a great spot to represent at the Major. 2 P250s, 2 flashbangs. That's it for INTZ. And MVP. We'll start to make inroads towards B, just harassing, trying to pull rotation. Again, the players who are saving are definitely faster to rotate than if it was a gun round, and you can slow things down with utility and so on. That said, there's not too much movement from INTZ. They're moving towards A actually now. We've got mid being taken by HSK. Actually, no, I misread the minimap there. He's actually below. It's going to happen a lot, James.
Early days. Zeph fishing. There's so much time on the clock for MVP. There's a flash, the only flash, and there's the burst from the CT side. So it seems that INTZ have got some plans. Ooh, and again, it's a carnage. Oh my days! HSK 1 versus 3, pulling out the Desert Eagle, looking all over the place. And that is a very unexpected round loss, an early one no less. That should have been a pedestrian round, but nothing is pedestrian on Vertigo. Nothing.
Yeah,
it is a map of variance.
I have no idea where the hell Yell appeared from there. Managed to wrap his way all around the back, found a perfect timing there. That's quite a problem for the likes of MVP, but perhaps they can stabilize here. But double orbs comes out immediately from INTZ, so that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. They will sacrifice utility to have that, but if you get the kills, doesn't really matter too much, does it? MVP in a pretty sore spot at this point.
If you had a choice to either draw on the map or get Vertigo out of the map pool, which one would you pick?
Draw on the map.
That's a good answer, Dan. Minute 24, excuse me, for MVP to turn things around. They're all here on the A bomb site, and 2 of the INTZ players look to rotate to A as well. There's no presence towards the B bomb site. Zand is just twiddling his thumbs at the moment, checking his Facebook. Got a number of grenades now as Cello holds an off angle, avoids the flashbang, looking to the other side, but he's let sign in. There may be trades though. H just gave her 2K. Very important stuff. I think INTZ a bit too overactive. Beautiful hop up from KNG, that leaves Stacks alone. Planted the bomb, looking to do some more damage, making it expensive. They know where he is, but what can they do about it? He could have rotated. He could be on the high ground. He's on the low ground. Yell gets absolutely decapitated. Dan's going to touch the bomb to invite him back. Stacks with a little jiggle. Around the corner he goes, behind the sandbags. Not perfect cover, though. Oh, and he might be able to survive the variance. This one goes to Zand, and INTZ will tie the score.
That was a really good effort from Stacks, though. The way that he was kind of jiggling and just getting the information in that spot and not conceding a headshot or something like that was really, really awesome work by him. Great effort. It will at least make that very expensive, and they get the bomb down as well, of course. Here, 1 versus 3. Like, he made this look extremely doable with the way that he was jiggling. Really good work. And MVP will be down 2-2 now after having quite the lead. And they can't really afford to go for a buy, despite the bomb going down. And so we'll see a save. So it's a good opportunity for the Brazilians to take advantage and take the lead. And MVP will take a tactical to figure out what the hell they're going to do.
Is this pick of Vertigo a giant gamble for MVP? You heard the comments of the guys on the desk and the strengths for MVP as far as international Counter-Strike is concerned. So perhaps it is. You just don't know. I mean, I didn't really know what to expect from this series in general, from these 2 teams in particular, but Vertigo into the mix. Pandora's box. MVP on the pistols once again, the odd grenade here and there. What do they have in mind for their opponent? Zand will see a lot more presence now. Looking for something. Not making too much of a connection. Towards the stairs, the grenade starts streaming in. There's a counter grenade. And here comes the variance. Is there a flashbang to go through the smoke? The bomb's been dropped, but that can be rescued later on, or maybe not, because almost everybody's dead. Everyone is now dead. On to the next one. Didn't get very far. But it was an eco round. It's a positive step for INTZ on the CT side. MVP should be good for the buy. Oh, look, it's me, if you're a racist.
Oh my god. Well, here we go. We got the initial setup for INTZ and MVP. They don't have much in the way of utility here, so they may be thinking about just hitting up a fast set piece. They can't play a prolonged battle of utility at all. Yell is making inroads here, trying to get himself some info, taking an off angle down the ramp. The ramps of A. And he will be spotted and forced back. So a slow pace from MVP, seeing if there's aggression from INTZ. Trying to catch them if it was to be the case, but they're playing it really standard. They've lost Cello though, of course, so...
Ooh, what happened there?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like some alien business. Gave birth to something through his stomach. 4 people alive per squad. I wonder if MVP are telegraphing their intentions towards the B bomb site, because when they go A, there's kind of no presence towards B whatsoever. There's no lurker, really. Destiny, oh boy, they're lining up for him, and that is an absolute deletion. MVP at the end of the Eraser. Really strong round for INTZ. And again, with the records of both these teams on Vertigo, there's not a lot of statistics, there's not a lot of information. So again, it is a stab in the dark if you pick this in this particular matchup, at least. And who knows how prepared INTZ are for this.
Yeah, it's really difficult to say. I know that a lot of the Brazilian teams have played a lot of Vertigo, so given what we have seen in some of the online leagues and so on. But for MVP, I really don't know how much data they have on this one. But Kianji with a fast frag onto HSK, trade out with the pistol on to Yell. Oh wow, okay, some inroads made onto the A bomb site. Perhaps the plant is possible in this position, although the bomb is not with them. It's in spawn, which is unfortunate. Not sure if there's a reason really for it to be in spawn around such as this. And now they're getting all the frags, and this is absolute madness. You can see Zan getting caught off guard there. No idea exactly where the T's were coming from. And look at all look at the run of the map that they have. They're just moving towards the B bomb site now, collecting the bomb on the rotation. No idea exactly where Kianji's coming from, but there's only really 3 possible entry points. Got a little hole there. And Kianji was making his way through. That'd be his choice, and he's going to make the sound cue, dropping down. That's the one downside of this. They know exactly where he is now. Great incendiary forces stacks out of position. Oof, taking a lot of damage from that one. There's a smoke as well. This is very difficult. He was actually going to push the smoke, but he's stuck. Did he just get stuck on a player? I think so. He realizes as well. Knows someone's right there. This is quite awkward. Well, James,
what can you do?
It's welcome to Vertigo.
It's an extremely difficult layout to deal with post-plant.
Yeah.
There's just so much variance.
Yeah, that B bomb site is really difficult to retake. It's really, really hard.
There's a lot going on.
Once you're locked out of it, it's just
kind of
horrendous.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, INTZ are still in the lead for the time being. They are back on the bye. They have replenished their resources. The Kriegs are out for MVP. 4 scopes on the 5 players. And they set up again. Early presence towards the B bomb site. Is it telling of their intentions? You can see the spread of INTZ for the time being. Trying to control that mid position. MVP starting slow, waiting out the utility of INTZ. There are still 4 smoke grenades, however, for the chaps in blue, as in the CT team. A bit confusing since MVP's jerseys are half blue. HE grenades is not going to get much of anything. So, again, another round where MVP have got most of their utility. I don't know if they were switching some weapons there. Zef's AK disappeared for a second. There will be an exchange of frags, and there's a minute on the clock for MVP, and the bomb looks to be collected by HSK.
Trying to test the waters towards the A bomb side is Zef. Smoke from Yell, though, will make things a bit more difficult for MVP. Nice nade going forward. Actually looked like it was going to do something, but of course it does absolutely nothing. Another smoke as well to make life difficult. And time is starting to be burned severely for MVP and their efforts to take the bomb site, but they're waiting to just create the question marks here for INTZ. You still have 2 players out of position. They'll be rotating now, of course, as the bomb needs to be planted. Important entry frag found by Zef as he bursts through. They need to get the bomb down. HSK is going to do that. Here comes the flank. That's a gut shot there from the AWP of Zeta. Such an important kill on the flank.
Just got to wait out the smokes, and the smokes are soon gone. INTZ have a smoke as well. Where do they choose to put it? In front of the bomb? It would be hard to defuse and touch a tight corner. Could have put it towards the sandbags, but then how do you deal with a player? Should one be there? There it is, smoke on the bomb. Surely this is an impossible task. No one's showing anything. There's some spam towards the bomb, trying to draw out the players. You'll see a smidgen of somebody. Cello needs more, but now he's got to hold on to the bomb because there's no more time. He can't even find the bomb in the smoke. How about that for some variance? Gets there in the end, and surely not. 19 HP, no more HP. Another round in the bag for MVP.
That keyboard, man, I can't get over it. Good effort from them. I like how they really slow things down right towards the end there. Made things quite difficult for their opponents. And you do have the luxury of that on this map. You can play things really close to the end of the timer, to the end of the clock. as it's very easy to just get on top of that A-bomb site immediately and get the plant down once you drop the smokes. So back and forth we go with this one. I'm curious if either team will find any meaningful momentum. But currently we are tied at 4-4, and it's going to surely go the way of MVP. Maybe you would have imagined it would have been the case the previous time, but MVP obviously lost 2 in eco rounds. And so perhaps they can rectify the situation this time. What option do they take?
No nades. The no nade option.
I mean, for MVP.
No nades. Apart from all the grenades they've got. INTZ stacking the B bomb site with 4 players. Relying on crossfire. Now, there's no SMG player, but I think this is a rough map to get those traditional, if you will, SMG plays where they go fishing to find information. Indeed, you have to jump over those wires on the edge to... Well, actually, there's 2 ways to get up there, I suppose. Off angles being played. INTZ creeping, looking to burst, looking to go for a jog. Crossfit on the B-bomb site, and they won't find much of anything. Move towards A before the lactic acid sets in.
Should be difficult for INTZ to do much about this. Yale's position with the USP is actually quite dangerous, but beautiful. The entrance of MVP will dismantle all these defensive positions. They've got everything covered. And this is looking much better. Not a lick of damage on a single MVP player so far.
Not a touch, not a whisper. Not even a smudge.
That's the smudge.
Yeah, there's a smudge. Fine. Smudge on the glass window. It'll have to be cleaned. There isn't much for KNG to do here. I mean, at this point, maybe he picks up a P250. It's a long, drawn-out anti-eco rounds. And KNG doesn't want to give it to them. Doesn't want to give them that $300. To hide behind the bags of concrete. And there's another round in the bag. Another round in the bag. The bag continues to be filled for MVP, but back and forth. I don't know who's at the advantage. We don't know what to expect from these teams, really. Even at halftime, decide switch. We just don't know which way this one's going to go. Is it going to turn out to be a risky gamble pick for MVP, or will they start to pull away from their opponent? This is a key round for them. You can see there's a shortage of grenades for INTZ. KNG's got no Kevlar. Tessa looks for an aggressive play around that lift area, around the mid position. Stacks with an off angle. MVP posting up, maybe waiting to dry out what little grenades INTZ have at this point. Smokes and flashes with a cameo appearance from one incendiary on cello. Off angle boost. This could catch somebody off guard, but for now it won't do that. Where Yell is, you can spam that from a number of different places. Ooh, we got more funky boosts going on. So many options for the T side. The CTs will be jealous.
Here come the nades, the burst into middle at the same time. After trying to pull the INTZ players out of position, now threatening middle. I kind of like that. Really trying to mess their rotations up. They have no nades left now, INTZ, so that's actually a big deal too.
You're a liar, they've got 2 flashbangs.
But no smokes, no incendiaries. None of the truly important nades to cut off vision and to deposition their opponents. Oh, nice timing found by Kianji. MVP now starting to make their moves back towards the A-bomb side, I would imagine. They've got 2 players that have been lurking outside the A-bomb site for quite some time.
Yeah, but look at the time on the clock. There's only 25 seconds. So this is a high-risk situation. HSK creeping, almost crab-walking with the smoke. He's hoping for the best of fingers across, but it's not quite going to happen for him. Big risks taken by MVP, and maybe they've let INTZ back into this game. Making it expensive for them now. 10 seconds to collect the bomb and try to plant it. I don't see it happening, but we'll be looking for damage, running out of bullets. INTZ survive with 3. Yeah. Very risky play of the bomb.
Yeah, they really... It's interesting because they're putting so much effort on the players in mids, and just leaving two outside of A to kind of spring onto the site as soon as the mid players got close. But that's the condition, is that the players through mid have to make it towards the A bomb site, and they just couldn't do it. So it kind of really it made two of the players in the round kind of ineffectual.
Molly in mid to stop any fast plays from MVP. And they have the presence towards the B bomb site. So are we going to see more varied play from MVP?
Yeah.
Again, when they've gone towards A, they haven't really had the presence towards B. But the bomb's in a position where it could be rotated. So perhaps they're looking for a way in somewhere around the map, an advantage. If they can get an early pick, then perhaps they'll encourage INTZ to take some more risks, to perhaps make a mistake. Smoke grenades to create some space to cover, as they could be creeping behind that smoke. They could be creeping around the corner. Everybody looking for gaps. KNG looking for something. Yell will do the job. It's got a gap now around a VLC media player logo, which will be taken away. 1 minute on the clock. MVP in the meantime still with presence towards B.
Life looks quite difficult for MVP right now. HSK will lighten the loads slightly with the kill onto Destiny. So they have middle. The question is, which bomb side do they want to attack? We've got two defenders on either side for INTZ. Kianji looking around, see if he can figure out exactly what these Ts are up to. And in comes HSK, and down goes HSK. The bomb, though, is outside of A, so it can make its way quickly enough for the plants. Can
it, though? The bomb site's still being held by the CTs, and there's 20 seconds on the clock. They've got to go through this choke point. So far, so good. Maybe not so good. Cello with a multi-frag. And that bomb is not getting planted anytime soon. INTZ feeling confident, sounding confident, looking confident. What does this mean for the money of MVP? This is the pick of MVP. They might still be able to buy it. Ooh, actually looking rough for some of the players. Scratching the head, out of ideas perhaps. 1 round lead for INTZ. Only pistols for MVP and 1 flashbang. How on earth do they plan to use that? Whoops. INTZ preparing for something funky. We've got incendiaries out very, very early indeed. They would have heard some footsteps though, so perhaps they've been a bit overzealous with those. More being deployed. MVP, even with these pistols and the 1 flash, the 4 players will still split across the map.
So it's going to be difficult for MVP to get much damage in here. They'll do their best, of course, but how much is really possible? This defense looks sturdy, stout, robust. There's a single flash now for MVP. 1 flashbang, in it goes, in they go, and down they go just as quickly as they came. 7-5. INTZ starting to build a lead.
I'm starting to wonder if they're going to make it to 10 rounds in this half. Looks like momentum is in their favor. Again, INTZ looking comfortable when there's no presence towards the B bomb site to send most of their players towards A, and from what I can remember, they've been right in almost every occasion in that respect. So let's see if MVP can improve on that. We've got the early grenades again from INTZ. HSK bring about into position. Maybe waiting for INTZ to go too far. Maybe to make an aggressive play with this AWP. For now, there'll be players around B and mid for INTZ. MVP start to creep towards A with 2 players. Now we're starting to see Yell rotate with no early aggression in that mid area, but he's going back with these grenades. This looks like it'll be another slow one.
Some presence made by MVP towards that A-bomb site once again. Sprays for days. Cello's in a little bit of trouble there, and the spray actually on the follow-up is going to work out, making quick work of Yell, and there goes Cello. Their defense has been completely destroyed. Destiny, is he going to push this smoke? Oh my days, that's not ideal for Destiny. And INTZ are struggling here, so they aren't looking like they're going to be getting 10 rounds unless Sand and Kianji can do something incredible. Ooh, Kianji getting his way through the smoke, trying to find those quick frags. But he will be taken down, as will his teammate, and MVP picking up round number 6. That was a nice attack, although ultimately that two-man setup around the wooden panel was not, or the wooden wall was not all that ideal. Good nade work here from MVP to secure those 2 kills.
Yeah, that's a rough spot. Oh, again, through the smoke. Perfect for MVP. Right place, right time. Now, MVP could actually have the lead at half-time if they can break INTZ on this round. Perhaps easier said than done. But well, we can see the priority of the smoke grenades for INTZ. But how long can they hold on to them for? Will they be too greedy with them? I wonder. MVP creeping towards the A-bomb site once again. Will they look for those boosts once more? Boosts of their own, that is. Loads of sound cues towards the B-bomb site for INTZ, for MVP to think about. Perhaps some rotations in this direction. And maybe that will encourage them to go towards the B-bomb site with the bomb. Smokes up, counter smokes. Only 2 smokes remain for INTZ. A minute on the clock for MVP, and they've got a lot of utility. You can see MVP now moving away from that B-bomb site. 3 players deep in A for INTZ. They've got no flashbangs, just smokes.
And just 2 in total. MVP are swimming in utility. They are rich in projectiles. Harassment through the wood. Kianji with the orb could be a problem, but surely there's got to be some nades here for this. Yep, there we go. The flashbangs come in, and they are raining from the sky. And there's so much work to be done here by the remainder, but all that's left is now just Sand as he pushes through the smoke, and it's a desperate effort and one that will not work out for him. And look at this. MVP might just be able to steal away this half now, looking threatening that 8th round, especially now that INTZ have nothing. They broke. They broke.
Will they go for a flash play? I feel like MVP will try to dry them out again, which will help them prepare for any kind of aggressive plays. Loads of Molotovs for MVP, so if there's any kind of sandbag position, then from INTZ, MVP have the tools to deal with it should they want to consider it seriously. HSK likes this angle, looking for the fast hop. You may have seen a CT there. And indeed, of course, we see some desperation from INTZ, a forward play with 3 players. Could even be a triple peak. Yeah,
looks like it. There we go. Yeah, these are always quite... These are strong. These are actually very strong, especially if this happens. You just get one guy looking. He will get blasted in the face. There's no way, surely, that Zef can survive. Oh, hits a headshot. That's cheeky business there. Able to escape, 63 health as well. So that is a fantastic result for the likes of MVP. You can see that they will be moving into the B-bomb site now, and they've gained some ground. But Zand is still playing around the smoke. He will be discovered. And Stacks on the attack there with the Krieg. Finds a headshot onto Destiny, leaving 2 now for INTZ, and it's a desperate run around to try to find this frag onto Sign, which they'll get, but it is the last round, so there's no saving to be done here.
An exchange of weaponry.
10 bullets.
Flashes and smokes. Now there's an opportunity to pick something up, maybe. There's a flashbang, there's some smoke. They could try and just yank him out there somewhere to create some space. There's no diffuse kit. Cello's the last man standing. He's behind a lot, and it is basically a shooting gallery. He's got his knife out. I guess he's got no more bullets. And that's going to be that. MVP will lead at halftime, 8-7 of INTZ. But who is really at the advantage? I don't know, and we'll have to find out after the break. 7-8 is the score. It's Vertigo. Who the hell knows what's going to happen in the second half? INTZ are a relative unknown. This is the pick of MVP. And it's on them to surprise us, to show us what they have had hiding in the shadows. They left it open. It wasn't their first veto. But we know they don't have the deepest map pool in the world, so we can take nothing for granted. Maybe there's something to show. Maybe there isn't. But we won't have to wait long to find out.
So here we go. Back into the action. You can see the end of all of it. And it didn't look like MVP were going to be able to get there. It looked like, as you say, James, there was this period where INTZ looked like they sort of had their number. MVP were beginning to struggle. But into the pistol we go. Deep into the pistol we go. And already we see the B attack coming in from the likes of INTZ. Stacks at the back with a USP, shooting the heads for days, and Sign comes in as well to make it even better. However, there's still Mr. Cello remaining. We'll open the door to announce his presence. How polite. Now Stacks and Sign know exactly what's up. Cello looking to isolate these players in 1v1s. Doesn't know exactly where or how close Sign is, and now that game's been given up. They'll try to go for the push. The 1v1 from Stacks is successful. You see, they are loving it. That is an important, that's a big, big round to win on a map like this. That means they've won both pistols, Mr. James.
That was a really loud celebration from MVP. Maybe it's a relief, maybe it's a sigh of relief from them on a map such as Vertigo. Let us see. MVP look prepared now. Plenty of incendiaries. A mixture of SMGs and rifles, and INTZ will have no grenades on this T-side round. Deagle, some P250s, but no flashbangs, nothing to take angles away from MVP. Just wide swinging and headshots. That's all they have to offer. Wide swinging and headshots. KNG looking for a peek, looking for curiosity. We see one that might come towards his left-hand side. Stack's getting more and more curious. There's a flash for him. KNG's got to turn around as well as his teammate. And MVP will close down the B-bomb site for now.
Zeta taking down Yell. Keeping it calm, keeping it under control. Now they wait. Oh, got to be careful there. Zeph lucky to be alive. P250 lurking. Jump shots being had as well. Actually connected one of them. Not in the head though, fortunately for Zeph. And Destiny is all that remains. He creeping, but oh, now he's given up the game.
I hate it when that happens.
They'll survive with 5, so their money will be kept in a good place. But the AKs will be coming, or the Kriegs, I should say, will be coming out.
Krieger.
The Krieger. Let's see how much they can do with it.
10-7. This is just a complete question mark for me.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I think for everyone.
Indeed.
All right, then. We've got some smoke grenades for INTZ. There are flashes only on KNG. So if he dies, there are no flashes, only smokes and a Molotov. Keep an eye on that. MVP will not get any rush from INTZ into the A-bomb site, but now Destiny will start to creep. Looking at the gaps. CT's hopping around, trying to figure out what's going on. You can see them being very active towards the B-bomb site as well. I do wonder if they'll start to rotate a player over towards A. Maybe it's too late because there's an opening frag from Yell. There's a nice trade from Sign, the fadeaway flashbang, and he looks to hold the left and the right-hand side. He's got to worry about a lot. There's a smoke to create some space, maybe to help them plant the bomb. Sign looking for the gap, but he was spotted first, it seems. Does he dare re-aggress? Maybe play off with his teammates. They're cleaning up the bomb site in the meantime. Up the ramp, INTZ go, and Sign went over-aggress. There are 2 smokes here for the MVP squad. They could drop some incendiaries as well to try and deter a bomb plant, as you can see. Zeph up close, looking for somebody. Oh, he's looked the wrong way, the wrong time. Absolutely brutal, staring at the smoke, and now it's a 2 versus 1. Cello's still got the bomb. He's got plenty of time. He's got some sound cues from Sign. Does he dare try to flank? It seems that he does. Repositioning, playing together. Sign will be the bait for his teammate to trade, but Cello's got the information already. Now, does he look to execute? Does he look to just rotate towards the other side? He's got to do a 180, surely. Oh, he hasn't checked behind him. This is absolutely bananas.
Ooh.
There's the frag from Stacks. The variance, Dan. The variance.
Yes, it didn't look like Stax was going to be able to win that fight. He was a FAMAS versus an AK at range, and he wasn't suspecting a player to be there exactly. So I think Cello had the warning, sound cues and all. So pretty crazy he wins that, and that was a close one and an important one, the first buy round going to MVP. And they survived the previous round with 5 players, so despite taking damage there, losing 3, they're in good stead to build their economy now that they are up against an eco round from INTZ. And Sign, there's a lot of marginal spots here for him, playing around the smoke, getting that Jewel in particular, getting shot down to like 9 HP. But Sign managed to keep that presence alive on the bomb site, so very, very well done. It's Zeph, though, who's 23 for 14. He's having quite the game here for the likes of MVP. He will opt for an MP9 in this round. And INTZ, they're actually spending a lot of money here. Cello and Sand and Destiny and Yell, actually almost everybody's spent a lot of cash here, like much beyond what's normal. They have to get a bomb down to justify this.
Yeah, that is quite the investment. So far so good. Zeph's been taken out. They won't retrieve a weapon unless they pursue this position. Sign trying to hold down the area. Lots of movement from MVP. Denial of information. 3 players now around the B bomb site. Huge hole in the defenses. Yell, why is he jumping like this? Is he suggesting players are dropping from somewhere? Trying to give some false information.
How do you read what the T's are doing in this situation if you're MVP? It looks like they're more afraid of a B split, but now HSK is walking back to A, so they're resetting it by waiting so long at INTZ. They've done a good job in that sense.
Yeah, MVP just don't know. They don't know what's happening. They don't know what to expect. Again, it's hard to make an aggressive play and try and get some information. High risk, very high risk on Vertigo. Flashes towards the door. Don't open the door in time for the second flashbang, it seems. And Sign has some kind of angle. So far, so good. He gets 2. He's got some information. He's cut the numbers down a little bit, but 3 versus 3. Stacks get his bell rung immediately. HSK is here. Looks like he made a step, and he'll be taken out by Yell. That leaves Zeta as the last man. HE over the wall, won't do anything. You can hear the reload, so he's got some positional information on one of the players, but can he find the position? That's a beautiful shot. Down to 10 HP, though. You can see KNG behind blue. Smoke's gone the wrong way. Out he comes, and there's a headshot for KNG. Very expensive round for MVP.
That was close. That was real close. Yeah, that was a tough one. Very well played. I mean, we saw that the condition was that they had to get the bomb down to invest so much, and they end up winning it. So yeah, INTZ keeping it close, and you can see big problems here for the economy of MVP. Sign had almost 8K, so they're gonna have a late buy into this. Zeph going for the auto shotgun. It's really risky business. The auto shotgun shotty is actually awesome on this map, but gotta find the right spots for it, obviously. INTZ very spread out at the moment. Kianji's making sure that they don't push A, and INTZ hold mids. And also they hold the stairs towards B, so they have a lot of room to play with. They keep throwing that smoke as well, and that's actually an awesome smoke to throw consistently, because it takes away so much information for the CTs. Great boost though, what a response.
Awesome stuff. But they still have, INTZ still have position, although they've lost a second player, that's a problem. Zeph, is his gun poking out? I'm not sure, but as you can see, there's bait and switch situation. He'll take one in the face. Finally, an opening frag for INTZ. They still have a minute to play with. You can see the bomb seems to be rotating to a different set of stairs. There's another frag for Cello. This is rough now for MVP. There's only 2 players on the B bomb site. It's a long way to A. It's guesswork now, and Cello continues to creep. HSK's got an off angle. Cello delivers another headshot. KNG now turning things around, leaving Zeta alone on the A bomb site. MVP looks strong with a 5 versus 3. Now it's a 3 versus 1. And what's he going to do, Zeta? Is he just going to try and save this?
I don't know, the rotations are really fast on this map, so, but he doesn't have a kid, so yeah, this is a super strong position. Cello did way too much damage there.
Yeah, he did colossal damage.
It looks actually quite favorable for MVP, and obviously, then he gets 3 kills. And the headshots that he got were really excellent. The second kill in particular, I forget which player he managed to take down, but the other player on the side of MVP had the jump on him with the FAMAS, and Cello just snapped straight to his head with the AK. So he had a great performance that round. Cello saved it for them. But it doesn't end there. MVP still with the lead, albeit small. See, MVP actually seem to be favored right now on the GG.bet.
Yeah. Again, it's still tough, but what we can say is that MVP don't have any money. They had a combined $1,500 in the bank before the end of that round. And if you look at the fashion in which it ended, that's not good. Attack pause from MVP. Figuring out how to make any sense of this map, perhaps. The money absolutely sucks. But it's still early in this off, I think we can say. 11-9, they've got a uncomfortable cushion to work with. That cushion may become a brick if INTZ keep winning rounds. So what is there to do? How do you try and get an early advantage? Well, there's one way to do it. Flashbangs towards the bomb site. The CTs are streaming. Sam's got the off angle, but there's a rifle to come behind the smoke, the Molotov rather. So there are 2 frags for MVP, and now it's a 1 versus 3 all of a sudden. Seto, what does he choose to do? Try and get an early entry. He's been smoked off. Not much he can do in that situation.
He kind of has to save his gun, because if you look at the way the money is here, Zeph and HSK invested a lot. Neither player can really afford to buy more than an MP9 or a shotgun or something of that nature, so it would be very helpful if Zeta could be able to drop this to one of them in the following rounds, and then at least they will be able to have 4 rifles. This is a really important save. You should be able to do that. INTZ did take some damage, so it's hard to say, how worth it was, the investment for the 2 kills. All right, so into the next buy rounds we go. It does feel like INTZ is starting to find a rhythm to their T side here. They are getting these defaults working pretty consistently. Propped up, of course, by some great performances. I think Cello absolutely stands out by far the most here on this T side. His rifle work has been excellent.
Okay, the battle rages on. 22nd round. Double FAMAS for MVP. Cello forced from his position. Did it go for a deep smoke, perhaps? Zeph seems to be considering it. Very important to hold that elevator area. The Ts will have to wonder if the CTs are on the flank, if they can hold that position. There's a HE. Ooh, double HEs towards sandbags. Nothing doing this time. No one's there. And maybe that's an early warning for MVP to consider that in future if they do want to go in that direction. Some spray from MVP, some harassment. Don't have too much info. They don't know how deep INTZ could be up this ramp at the moment. 3 players towards A for MVP. INTZ somewhat static at present. Maybe looking for an opportunity. They like to be peeked by their opponent. This time it comes with a flashbang. No harm done.
Zeph lining up a high flash, but INTZ will change the pace, change the movement. Cello once again with the AK-47. Find another headshot. How much more damage is he going to do? HSK will finally stop him, but Destiny's right behind. Stacks, though, remains on the bomb side as the bomb needs to be recollected here. It's in the control of the CTs, and time is of the essence. There's less than 20 seconds to be able to plant the actual bomb, and Stacks is just holding his ground right now. The CTs don't have to move a muscle. They have done well positionally. Just got to get the frags now, and the frags will come. Yell, he doesn't have time, I don't think, to really do much here. And boom, there it is. MVP pick up a much-needed round and prevent that momentum. And James, you know what? I think one of these key adjustments we just saw from MVP, that deep Molotov, was really important. Just hamstringing INTZ's what has been a part of their default, which is that heavy mid control.
Yeah, losing the bomb was absolutely crushing trying to be rescued by Zan, but nothing doing there. You can see Zeta standing on the bomb, more or less, ready for that last frag. Brutal loss for INTZ. 2 rounds behind, and we see some pistols now for the Brazilian squad. AK and a Krieg collected by MVP, and that'll certainly help with their buy. We've got an MP9 and a FAMAS, so things aren't perfect on the CT side. In fact, both teams are pretty much broke if they lose this round. So this could be quite key for INTZ's comeback, for MVP to push for 14. Bomb plant, something to consider as well, but INTZ need a hell of a lot more than that. And once again, they'll slow things down. Look for an entry, look for a peek from the CTs. They will receive some grenades, and grenades come back in response.
So now it looks like MVP has spotted all the activity towards A. It's going to be a harder and faster round from INTZ with much more intent towards one bomb site. Zine will defend. Nice headshot, but more needs to be done. They're down a man here in this situation. Down 3 against 4 as INTZ is still warring over this A bomb site, but it's looking difficult now for MVP. HSK holding the line, but yikes, that is some damage straight through the woods. It's going to create some problems. Additional spray coming in. Stacks though. It would make it a little bit easier, but it's still very difficult. HSK, the triple peak, what are you going to do about that? INTZ, they change up the pace and it works.
Big round, as we said, no matter who wins it. That's really crushing for MVP. That slows them down, puts them, takes them out of the car, puts them in a tricycle. INTZ will look to tie the score now. You can see the money, or lack of, there for MVP, so we'll see what the anti-eco is like, and also if there's any plan for MVP. And it doesn't seem like there is. No flashbangs. The only investment is a CZ75. They do have numbers to their advantage, though, trying to swarm. But this virus will be immunized by the likes of INTZ. Only losing 1 player. Very brief eco round. Sometimes a brief eco round is a good one. MVP can buy again, but there will be some shortcomings. Such is the nature of the map. Perhaps there's more mileage to get out of an MP9 than some other maps, like a Dust 2. So we'll see what they choose to do. INTZ with a tactical pause. Very tense stuff. Vertigo as the first map of a best of 3. At least it's not the third.
It's a good point, James. Actually, getting it out of the way with immediately. It's just such a wild card, isn't it? It's the Joker up the sleeve. It's just impossible to know which way this one is going to go. And it's interesting because INTZ almost had set up winning that round in a way, because they created this problem in middle, ultimately, for MVP to deal with. These slow defaults operating out of mid-control. Then MVP have an answer to that, and as soon as MVP actually answered that correctly, boom, it fast hit onto one of the bomb sites where they won't have the players in position because they're more concerned with middle at that timing. So now things might kind of reset again, whereby MVP, they're playing more normal, they're not emphasizing middle as much. They've got 2 players here ready to respond on A immediately. And INTZ going for that A hit again, but this time a little bit more slow. Got to be careful, Zeta very exposed there. Very scary stuff. He's going to try to creep up on these players. The headshot angle will favor Yell. And now there's problems for MVP. Down a man again.
Yeah, you start to wonder if this map is slipping away from them and what the implications are. Not good, it seems, but this round is not over just yet. There's so much time on the clock for INTZ to just wait out all these grenades. There are still 2 smokes here for MVP. Sign trying to make a play through the smoke. You won't see much of anything before he goes down. 3 versus 5. More smoke streaming in, trying to hold position, but INTZ continue to creep destiny now with 3 kills in this round, and Stacks can do nothing. Can do absolutely nothing. Look at the money for MVP. This is disastrous for them.
Yeah, it really is. You almost want Sign to have silence them 4 to be able to spray through some of these smokes. Try to punish that reload that was very much in front of him. And at this point, INTZ, if I were them, I would just continue to just keep doing these A rounds, because they have been very successful. MVP have not shown that they're able to defend them just yet. Although we are going into an anti-eco next, so you don't necessarily want to just do that against the pistols, as it's, if there's going to be a stack on one of the bomb sites, that might be more likely at this point.
Well, well, well. Tactical pause from MVP. This is it's a tight spot for them, Dan.
It certainly is. At this point, I'm wondering if to them it feels like they've tried everything. There's always a moment when you're in this hard-fought battle against a team, and it feels like they get to this spot where you have these moves back and forth, these adjustments back and forth, and eventually you run out of the ability to adjust. Like there's no more counterplays that you can really think that could answer what they were doing. Ultimately, the next buy round will be telling. It will answer that question. If MVP have anything new that they can show. Because also the other issue is that INTZ, they've been hitting their shots. Cello, again, specifically. Cello's been having some great spots. We saw Destiny just previously having a really good attack into the A-bomb side.
Despite the shortcomings for INTZ so far today, Cello's he's had a lot of impact frags for them in a different series. Not enough in the previous series, perhaps, but impact frags nonetheless. INTZ playing it careful. Again, you could just see, like, when they approach the A-bomb site, they've got so much time to just dry out the, wait out and dry out the MVP utility. Ooh, missed the second one. Cello showing plenty of presence, keeping them entertained. He is the flame, and here come the Moths. Not going to collect the rifle just yet. In the meantime, INTZ will spread towards the B-bomb site, and these choke points are somewhat insurmountable. Almost Mickey Mouse ears on the bomb site. So that rifle, if they can hold on to it, will be fantastic. I don't know if this is the right map to really hunt too much.
Yeah, at this point too, I think that you just care about your economy because there's so few rounds left that you're not realistically going to break INTZ's economy. To set yourself up to do that, you'd have to basically kill all of them at this point, which is probably impossible. So you just so it's no point. There's absolutely zero argument to go for the kills here against INTZ. You've already got one AK saved. That's the best you could really ask for, I think, in this scenario. HSK is going to try to chase for another gun. He will be unsuccessful.
Well then, last chance saloon for MVP, I think it's fair to say. The pick of MVP, Vertigo, V for variance. And maybe they'll be on the receiving end of that, unless they can turn this round around. Maybe their last goodbye. AWP for Seta. Signed still with the AK-47. Initial grenades from INTZ to try and compromise the positions of MVP. 2-1-2 set up for MVP at the beginning. And they wait. INTZ quickly creeping up the A ramp. Cello, he's gone fishing. A little jiggle, won't quite spot Sign, but oh, he's gone past. Sign's seen him just in time. Fearless jewels from Cello. Smoke to trying to create space, didn't quite hit the mark there, but he's still pulling CTs in his direction. There's another one from Cello, which will make things even worse. MVP, you have to wonder if this is a safe situation for them now. Cello with all the angles. The bomb can be rotated towards the B bomb site. Stax is still there. And Cello is quite the thorn in the side for MVP.
Yeah, it can't be the case that he's allowed to do so much damage by himself, just lurking or testing the bomb site, looking for 1v1s. And he's been feeling it so much that you want him to be doing that. If you're INTZ, you want to send Cello out and see if he can open up the map for you like that. And that's a huge issue.
Destiny heard two of the CTs rotating earlier. He's gone for a A long flank. He spotted 2 of them, but HSK pops out at the right time, so maybe there's a chance. 24 seconds for this bomb to get planted. Zand has the smoke to use. We've got some flashbangs coming in as well. 3 versus 4, make it 2, make it 1, make it 9. It's game point for INTZ on the pick of MVP.
You pick that Vertigo. And this is what happens, James. Sometimes it will betray you.
Variance. This is the map of variance. 5 rounds in a row for INTZ. 8 rounds from 9 on their T side. Well, MVP have gone for the 4th spy. They've got the auto shotgun. It's actually, all things considered, better than you might expect. The shadow spotted by Zand. He sees a player up to his left-hand side, but he's focused on the other side. Maybe that was his shadow. I'll have to look at that later. I'm not sure. Destiny has made his way beyond the elevator position. Zeph forced to play from further back. He's got no grenades, Zeph. Any peek is a risk. The wrong peek could be the end of the map. They do have a man advantage, though, MVP, but how long will it last for? So light on grenades. Only 1 smoke in this situation. So much time on the clock for INTZ. But again, will they overplay their hand? Will they go too slow? Will they take too many risks? Oh, the timing is absolutely brutal. It's dry peeks from Destiny. Playing off of his teammates with great precision.
Oh no, it gets worse. The distraction from the nades on the EA bomb site has just pulled away these players at the critical moment, and Destiny just punishes the running. He hears the running and he punishes it. And now it's just 2 players left to try to defend this, but it looks like it is in the hands of INTZ. And at this point, it seems like only they could throw it away. Zion and Stacks will begin to creep. And there's a lineup, but there's no way for Zion to punish. There's no way for him to get the damage that he needs. And Stacks runs, he knows it's pretty much over at this point. 16-12, and INTZ will defeat their opponent's MVP PK on their map pick at the beginning of this best-of-3 series for the Major.
MVP took a gamble, and it looks like the house won on this occasion. They're left to start the normal maps, if you will, on the back foot. Vertigo, never a guarantee when you pick it, can betray you, and they were betrayed on this occasion, and now they've got to do it the really hard way. Really rough spot, just back and forth. Such is the nature of Vertigo. It's a dangerous map to choose.
Yeah, it really is, and as I mentioned before, we've seen the Brazilians on that map before. They're pretty comfortable, they like playing it. We've seen it a lot in the online leagues and so on, so it's not too surprising that they would be so comfortable there, because it looked like they had they looked really comfortable.
Yeah, the lurkers were absolutely savage. Alex Machine Richardson and co. Was it the wrong choice for MVP?